Alright, so time for some mathematical fun. We're going to look at factorizing monic cubics. So we're going to start by factorizing this guy. Okay, so x cubed minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 20. Now, here it's important to recognize what the word factorize means. Okay, factorize does not mean solve. It simply means to write it in factored form, which often we think of as writing it in brackets. Okay, so my goal is to get it to look like that. It's going to come in two phases. First, it's going to come by figuring out the linear term, and then the quadratic quotient, and then finally factorizing that quadratic to be fully factorized. Just for facility, I'm going to call this guy f of x, so it's easier to refer to. Okay, so f of x is equal to x cubed minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 20. Okay, so I need to find a linear factor. This means using the remainder theorem and factor theorem to find a value for which f of a is equal to 0. Again, we don't need to try every value under the sun. We just need to look at factors of 20. Okay, so in this case, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay. We hope to not have to do too many. So I'm going to pull up a little bit of mathematical magic. Let's start by trying 1. So if I try f of 1, I get 1 cubed minus 5 times 1, spoiler alert, 5 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 20, which is 1 minus 5 minus 4 plus 20, okay, which gives us 12. Not what we're after. I try the next one. So maybe I'll try negative 1 next. Put in negative 1, and I find that, get my cursor out of the way there, I get negative 1 cubed minus 5 times negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 plus 20. Isn't looking too promising. Minus 1 minus 5 plus 4 plus 20. Still not what I'm after. We just keep trying factors until we get one that works. Here, I tried 2. Luckily, it's the last one I have to try. When I put in 2, I get 2 cubed, which is 8, minus 5 times 2 squared, which is minus 20, minus 4 times 2, which is minus 8, plus 20, which is 0. So this does mean that we have found what we were after. We found one of the linear factors. So this means that x minus 2 is a linear factor. Okay? Remember, it's of the form x minus a, so it is x minus 2. Now, so that means that this guy here is x minus 2. To figure out what's here, okay, we're going to go through the process of long division to get a quadratic. So this means setting up, well, if I've taken out x minus 2, so I've taken out a factor of x minus 2 from my big old equation, x squared minus 5x squared minus 4x plus 20. Okay, basically what am I left with? What's my quotient that we know will be a quadratic? So I go through my questions. X times what gives me x cubed? Well, that would be x squared. I take x minus 2 and multiply it by x squared. I get x cubed minus 2x squared. X cubed minus x cubed is 0, which I don't need to write. Negative 5x squared minus negative 2x squared. Well, that's negative 5 plus 2, so that's negative 3x squared. Carry down what I've got. Now I ask myself a new question. I ask myself, well, x times what gives me negative 3x squared? So that's a good old negative 3x. Taking my divisor, multiplying it by that little part of the quotient, so I get negative 3x times x to get negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times negative 2 is plus 6x. Again, don't forget your brackets when you're subtracting. negative 3x squared minus negative 3x squared. Well, that just gives me 0. Negative 4x minus 6x is negative 10x. And carrying down to plus 20. Now this is where we cross our fingers a little bit and hope we haven't made any silly mistakes. X times negative 10 gives me negative 10x. Negative 10 times negative 2 is plus 20. Okay, whew, I was really hoping I got a remainder of 0, which I did, so that we have factorized correctly. Okay. So, now I want to write the cubic as a product of the linear term and the quadratic. Okay. So that means right now I know that f of x is x minus 2 times x squared minus 3x minus 10. X is kind of messy. So, now I just need to get this guy factorized. Hopefully you've had lots of practice factorizing quadratics. This is a monic quadratic, so I can just ask myself, well, what two numbers add up to negative 3 and have a product of negative 10? But luckily there aren't too many things that multiply to 10. 2 and negative 5 will do the trick. Okay, so that's me factorizing the quadratic. Okay, so x squared minus 3x minus 10, well that's x plus 2 and x minus 5. So my final answer is f of x is x minus 2, x plus 2, and x minus 5. Of course, you can check that by expanding on your CAS.